this new episode of Continuum Gaming, and in this episode I'm going to talk about the different cameras and do a camera comparison of the C2, the Xperia 10 Mark III, the Xperia 10 Mark II in this case, and the Lumia 950XL by Microsoft. The former ones are of course all Sailfish OS empowered, as you already can see. Both of the Xperias are going to run on 4.6 at the moment. This is the latest version of Windows 10 Mobile. Of course it's no longer around, but still a good camera on the smartphone, I think at least. And then we have the C2, which is of course a new reference guide for Sailfish OS. Just to let you know, none of those are going to use any kind of IE features or something, just because they're not there, and in the end I'm not going to use them anyway, because that's not what we are comparing here. We are comparing the hardware more or less at the moment. I'm going to have a couple of different situations I'm going to try to take photos of with each of those smartphones, and I'm just going to present them next to each other to you in this screenshot. Just to let you know, of course, it's a low resolution for just having really a close look on those images. So if you want to have the real deal, the real resolutions of the smartphones cameras I'm getting there, please have a look at the description box. I'm going to post a link where you can look at them in full resolution. And of course, all of them are JPEG and compressed, but still better than nothing, I hope. Other than that, let's start with the first one. And yeah, just to let you know, I am not a photographer, I am nothing professional in that direction, so please bear with me. Yeah, and here you can see them. We have four different smartphones. We have the Sony Xperia 10 Mark II, the Sony Xperia 10 Mark III, and the Jolla community phone C2, which in this case are all running Sailfish OS with 5.0 and 4.6 respectively. And we have the Windows 10 mobile smartphone, the Lumia 950XL, which is meant to be one of the better smartphones for cameras and stuff like that, pre-KIAE era. So in the end, no artificial intelligence for any of them, because of course the Sailfish OS ones are not going to do any kind of post-processing, and that one is, at least if it's doing post-processing, only doing the one that can be done on the smartphone itself without any kind of RE. And with those, I'm going to take a couple of pictures now from different kinds of objects. I have here some fuzzy stuff and some other stuff, you will see it. All of this is taken from the inside, so we are in my flat in the end at the workbench, and it's around about 6 p.m. as you can see. And so let's have a look. So first off, I'm just going to put them a little bit aside. As mentioned before, we are going to start with the Sony Xperia 10 Mark II in this case. I'm just going to go to the native camera app. We are not going to use any kind of other one like the advanced camera or stuff. We are just going to use that. And as you can see, we are in there. Let's start with the first camera option here. And I'm just going to take a picture. As you can see, it's taken with the first level, so the normal picture camera, and I will do one maybe with a zoom camera, and there is the widescreen camera. Okay, so next one is going to be the Xperia 10 Mark III in this case. So this one, and we are going to put it in. Same thing, normal camera. We're going to take that out of the picture. We are going to take a normal with the one setting here. Okay. We are going to take one with the zoom camera in a way that we can see everything on the picture here. I'm going to try to focus on more or less the same space. Okay, picture done too. And of course we have a widescreen camera on this one too. it's this one, and as you already can see here, we have a totally different color scheme now. Looks very different, nothing happened, but very different based on that. Now let's have a look what the Lumia 950XL can do. For that, I'm just going to go to the normal camera app here too. No special things set up or something, just going to take a picture. I'm just going to try to put the focus to a close by one. There we go. And yeah, in the end, this camera has only one camera inside there, so this is more or less a normal camera we are talking about, not going to do much more with that. And then we have the Jolla C2 in this case. Same thing, going to go to my camera app, in this case, standard camera app, not the advanced one or something. Here we go. It's starting up, and I'm just going to give it a shot with this one. Same conditions, more or less the same stuff to go on. I'm going to try to focus on that little logo there, and I'm just going to take a picture. Same thing with the widescreen. And just to let you know, this one doesn't have any kind of zoom cameras, it has a macro camera on it. So if you are trying to zoom something, you will have to use a digital zoom in this case, but with the macro one, you can already see it, it's very, very blurry, till I get very, very close to something. And to get it done, I'm not sure if I can, no. I'm just going to take a picture like this. And maybe one with a background. Yeah, and you should now see all the different kinds of pictures on the screen. Of course, I will put in some kind of a link in the description, for instance, so you can see all the different images in a larger format too. So let's have a look at that. And of course, if, for instance, the focus can handle it. And I'm doing the same order this time. So I'm just going to start with the Xperia 10 Mark II in this case. And as you can see, I'm just going to start with the first normal setting here. And I'm just going to take a picture just like this, with the exception that I will have to put out those parts. But now I'm just going to take a picture. Okay, first picture. Second one again is going to be with my Xperia 10 Mark III in this case. Same thing, I'm going to go with my normal camera in this case. And I'm just going to take a picture. This time around we are going to use this one in level 1, of course, in this case. And I'm just going to try to focus more or less on the mouse here or the nozzle there. Something like this. And I'm going to take a picture. Okay, so hope that this is enough for you. Of course, I could do all of them in the same situation again too, with the different other cameras. I'm just going to blend the pictures in here. Yeah, and it's conclusion time now. And this one is very hard for me because it's very hard for me to judge all of these. They are very similar, and I'm not a professional photographer or something like that. And yeah, I don't know how good I can show you everything on the big screen, because my TV will change stuff up, and of course every display I'm going to show you will change stuff up, and it's not the same what you are going to see. So I would highly recommend you, especially if you know what you are doing and you're a professional photographer or something like that, or just have a very high mindset there, Please have a look at the reference images down below. There's a download. Just download that. You will see the same images I'm going to show you here, but in the bigger resolution, or the resolution that is available at least. And like that you can judge by yourself. But what I found and what I want to show you here, I'm going to just give you a little overview about that. You can see we have a couple of different images. There's one with the normal camera, the zoom camera, the widescreen, and the little stuffed animal there. And you can have a look at that. I didn't do any kind of color correction, anything about that. And that is very interesting, because if you have a look here, I'm not sure if you see it in this situation the best, but if we go to this 10 Mark III, it's very different. If you have a look at the preview here already, you should be able to see that this one is slightly less yellowish than this one, for instance. So the different cameras are producing a little bit of a different color scheme, more or less, whatever. And if we have a look into the first one, so the situations are always, the first one is the one where we have the normal camera. And as you can see, it's a pretty okay picture. It's maybe slightly blurry, but I'm not sure if that's because I couldn't hold it very still, or if it's the camera itself. Totally fine picture anyway. As you can see, we have nice little colors. There's no color bleeding, or pretty low color bleeding at least, even on the high contrast parts here, as you can see. There is a little bit of a structure visible in this fabric there under the picture itself. And of course the colors are pretty vibrant and more or less lifelike anyway, so it's not really a big problem or something. It's a little bit blurry, so if you have a look at this, for instance, I think the tomato, for instance, is much more in focus than, for instance, the apple at this point, but all pretty okay. Okay? Still, I think that, for instance, Sony Xperia 10 Mark III, maybe as expected, I'm not sure, has a little bit of a different picture here and maybe a little bit of a better one, but only very slightly, okay? But as you already can see here, the normal camera one, if you have a look at the picture here, the normal camera one is slightly darker than the other one. So the zoom camera is pretty much higher or brighter, and the other one is much lower in brightness, more or less. And especially the widescreen one has a little bit of a tint to it even. So I would say the widescreen one on the 10 Mark III isn't that, good, whatever. If I go in and have a look at that, come on, open it up. There we are. If you have a look at that, and I'm going to zoom in a little here and go a little to the side here, for instance, you can see that the edges are pretty okay. We are zoomed in very much now, or better to say we are not zoomed in. This is more or less 100% part, and it's pretty okay. It's not perfect. And as you can see, a little bit of color bleeding is happening at this point and stuff like that. And the little bit better structural part is here on the smartphone too. So in the end, it's slightly brighter, especially with the zooming one. It has slightly better colors, so more like what I was seeing, I would say, but it's very close to each other. Still, it's a little bit nicer red and more like the tomato I really photographed there, but still totally fine. Both are more or less in the same ballpark we are talking about. And what I like a little bit better with the Xperia 10 Mark III is the focus. So if you have a look here, it might be a little bit better than on the other one. So here is a sharper edge too, maybe a little bit better, but really very slightly. Only thing that really was outstanding for me is more or less how fast the focus was on the Sony Xperia 10 Mark III, so the faster CPU is really kicking in here. It's faster than on the other one, but still all in the same ballpark. Okay, so now let's have a look at the next one, just to show you it more. Here is the C2. I would say this one is a little bit different. I'm not sure if it's better. I wouldn't say it's better. It has a slightly more bleeding here, but it's overpronounced in this color, or in this TV here. So if you have a look at the picture itself, it's much less there. But we have a little bit of a problem with the contrast here. So there's a shining color bleeding, whatever you want to call that, which is of course not there, but it's just overpronounced a little bit, okay? What's fine is the colors otherwise, so that's pretty okay. It's a little bit too bright maybe on this part here, but still this is all more pronounced in this big image than on my smaller display. And I don't know what the camera is making of this, so just have a look at the picture yourself if you want to. Still, I like, for instance, the tomato even a little bit better, because the shininess of the specular lights here is better, I would say. Anyway, it's a fine looking picture. As you can see, it has one of the highest resolution you can have here, and it might be working out better than we expect here. If I'm going to show you the other ones, give me 1 sec. Same thing with the different kinds of cameras here. If we have a look at this one, for instance, very different color of the banana there. If you already see that in the preview here, if I'm going to open that up, this one has pretty much more noise in it. So it's a little bit hard to see because most of my parts here have a structure anyway. But if you have this kind of ISO picture here, so you can already see it, it's pretty noisy. So more or less there's more grain in there. Anyway, fine picture too, but a little bit too dark, a little bit of darkness bleeding over. So not sure what to make from this. Anyway, if we go and have a look at the different, the macro lens part, that's a very interesting one, because these are a much lower resolution if you have a look at that. So the macro camera itself only has a resolution of 1600 times 1200 pixels, and all the other ones were much larger. So I'm not sure if that is a good sign. What you already can see, it's not very color accurate. It's better again on the screen than on the big screen, just to make let you know that. This is too bright on the big screen already, and on the normal screen here it's a little bit better. Nice little bouquet, that's possible with this camera, so that's a nice little touch there, but still this is not a good picture, I would say. Not perfect. Yeah, on the other hand, if we have a look at, for instance, a normal camera with this little feather here, it's fine. Still a little bit too much noise in the picture for me, but still the main focus here is okay. You can see it here pretty nicely with all the different small little hairs and stuff like that. Still, as mentioned before, too much noise in the image, not perfect. And again, if we have a look at the colors here, at least I'm not sure what you can catch up on the camera later on, but still this one is a little bit better, I would say, on my smaller screen here than on the big TV screen, because that is overpronounced. Much too bright. Okay, so let's have a look at, I think, the best camera still, which is of course the one in the Lumia. And problem with that is, of course, that the Lumia doesn't have all the different cameras. So we only have 2 pictures here because there's only 1 camera in there. But I think the 1 camera is really a superior one. Still, it's a much more expensive smartphone, of course, too. But if we have a look at this, I think you will see a pretty big difference. colors very accurate, even on the big screen here, but would be here the same thing. Have a look at the picture itself, as mentioned before. Colors are very nicely done. The focus is very nicely. You even have a very good edge here. You have it at the tomato. You have it there. I would say very nice picture regarding all the different stuff. Even the colors are nice. You don't have much of a color bleeding or something that is happening here. So you can see even on the high contrast part here, it's really very separated. There's no color bleeding going on and no brightness more or less shining over. Same on this part here. Pretty perfect image if you ask me. And if we have a look at our little fella here, that one is a nice one too. Less noise in the picture. Of course, as mentioned before, there has to be a little bit of noise, but less noise on the picture here. We have a nice little color, and in the end, even here it's much too bright. If you have a look at the picture again here, it's in a better shape too. But still, just have a look at the pictures in itself. You will see what's happening there. And this is more or less the video. And I would say, what is the clear winner? Is there a clear winner? I'm not sure. In the end, from the Sailfish, the 3 Sailfish cameras or the 3 Sailfish OS smartphones, all of them are pretty much in the same ballpark. So I would say the 10 Mark III has a slight edge, but it has camera problems on the other side, so that you can't use all of them. And that's a little bit of a downer there. So in the end, every option there is more or less in the same ballpark, does more or less the same thing, and you just have to think about what you want from the smartphone elsewhere, I would say, because the 10 Mark III, for instance, is of course faster than the other ones, but the C2, for instance, very interesting. Today it became much faster for me. I'm not sure why. So at the start there was some kind of a stuttering sometimes if I'm having animations and stuff like that done. But today I just installed a couple of different things, and it seems like I installed something that was missing or something like that, and because of that now the animations are smoother, the different frame timings are better and stuff like that. It's very interesting. I have to investigate into that again. And today I would say that from the normal performance part there, the C2 and the Xperia 10 Mark III are at the same part there. Still, if I have to select a clear winner, or if you would just force me to select a winner, I would still give the edge to the Lumia 950XL, because it was a great camera. It's still a great camera. It has the best sharpness, the best focus part, even in unlimited focus ranges and stuff like that. It's very nicely done, and I'm pretty sure it has a better dark light mode and so on and so forth. Still, just to let you know, all of them are fine. You can use all of them in this situation, at least pretty okay. It's nothing to worry about if you have to do a short video. Short video is a different thing, but a short little snapshot or something, everything should be working here, and they are fast enough to do that too. So just try it out. So, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, of course. If you didn't subscribe till now, do that now. The button is down below. Remember that you can download the reference pictures in the description there. And other than that, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you have any kind of questions, comments, whatever, put them down below in the commentary section. And other than that, see you in the next episode, and bye.